So now we're going to do our phoneme activity. So you have your counters, and let's take a look. What do we have here? What is our first picture?
T.
And what do we know about phonemes? We know that sometimes words have digraphs, right? We know there's vowel teams.
Or control.
So we know that sometimes those words can come together to make two letters can make one sound, right? So it ain't just because a word may have 3 letters, it doesn't mean that it'll always be, 3 individual letters. Sometimes words can blend to make one sound. So what are the sounds in the word T? And when you're doing it, you have to sound it out.
This is T. And then EA. No.
And what is the EA? What do we learn about that? We see the E and the A, and what are those?
Those are a vowel.
So what do we call that? When we have the 2 vowels that come together to make one sound. What do we call that? What's that word we learned? That team, what is it called?
A vowel team.
Right, vowel team. So we know that the T had an individual sound, but the E and A came
The
together.
T by itself and the E and A together.
Right, which is the vowel team.
But if it was 3, they all would have been separate.
But we know that sometimes, that's not the case. In some words, though, there can be individual sounds. Not all words come together to make one. Let's take a look. What is that? What do we notice? What's the word?
Paper.
And you said it was an R control.
A. Per. R control.
We hear that right?
ER.
The R is dominating the E, right?
R control, ER.
Right.
And then P, and then A, and then P.
Right, so we got the paper. Good job. Let's do our next one. What do we see right here?
You see that? Saw.
A saw. What are our sounds in saw?
R. W-A.
A-W, right? A-W came together to make one sound.
Yeah.
All right.
And then we got S.
And the S is by itself. Let's take a look at that because this tripped you up the first time. What did we learn about the word cheese? What do we see in this word?
Sound like it's E's. Like
But what do we see? What do we know? We see there's 2 E's, and what is that? Those 2 vowels.
Yeah.
So do the sounds for me.
E. They're all together.
Right, and what does that S-E sound like? It sounds like a what?
Z.
But we know that it's not a
It's
Z,
an E-S.
but it does have the Z sound, right? S-E.
So, C.
And what about that C-H? What sound does that make? Which is what's that word called?
Like,
The digraph. So the C-H and S-H makes digraph, so that makes one sound, right? And what's
then we got E-E.
Which is a what?
E's.
The 2 vowels.
2 vowels come together.
And what's that word called?
E's.
But what is it called? When two vowels come together to make one sound. What's that team
They're
called?
what's it called?
The
Vowel team.
vowel teams, right? So we got the ch,
Like
e.
Arkansas.
So how many sounds were in the word cheese? You see them right here. These are the sounds. How many sounds were there?
3.
Right. Good job.
But it's more letters.
What is this? What do we notice?
We got the ring.
Rain. What are the sounds of rain?
A-R. That's
Not A-R. Let's take a look at that again. What you just did.
A. And then
Not the A.
A.
What would be first, treasure?
R. A-R. N. So,
You mean AI. And what's that AI?
A-I is a vowel team.
Good job. So our sounds would be R, A, N. So the
N
R
is by itself. It's not one.
and the R is by itself, right? But the A and I come together to make one sound.
Ring.
Ring.
Like raindrop.
Let's take a look at this. What do you see?
Fork.
So what do we already hear in that word?
Or
What type of
R
word?
control.
R control word, right? Because you
So
see that.
F-O-R-K.
And we know that R control words, we see them in what? E-R, O-R. What else can we see them in?
U-R.
U-R, because remember they're vowels.
O-R.
I-R and E-R. Well, yeah, you can say E-R, A-R. Because it's a vowel, then you have the R. So good job. So our sounds would be or, k. So the O-R come together as an R control word,
Fork.
which has 3 sounds in the word. Let's do one more. What about drum? Now, what do we know about this word? Good job. So what do we notice in this
They're
one?
all by itself.
By themselves, each were an individual sound. There were no blends, there were no digraphs, right? We didn't have any R control, and there were no vowel teams. So there were 4 individual sounds in the word drum.
Well, there were one vowel.
Where's the vowel at? That U?
Yeah.
But we know that it wasn't a vowel team, was it?